Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session on English thesis defense. Today's material will help you prepare one of the most important moments in your academic life, that is, defending your research in English. So, we'll try to make this as fun and practical as possible. Jadi jangan tegang dulu. Kita akan mempelajari struktur presentasinya, and then the usable expressions, and then how to describe diagrams and table. And the last one is deliberate tricks and tips so that you can be more, you can become more confident in front of your lecturers. So remember that the goals is not just to pass, but to impress, even if English is not your first language. Now you can prepare your notes and then open your mind and let's get started. All right. So let me give you a roadmap of what we're covering today. Ada 4 bagian utama yang akan kita pelajari. First, the structure of your presentations. It will involve what to say and when to say it. And then second one, vocabulary and phrases that will make you sound natural. And then the third one is how to explain pictures or tables or diagram. Bagian yang sering bikin bingung ya ini ya. And then finally we'll talk about the tips for delivery. How to sound more confident even if you are nervous. Now think of it like learning a script or for a play. You are the main actor, and your what is it? Your thesis or your final project is your story. So don't be worried. Don't worry. We'll learn about this together. I'll give the examples. All right. Now let's move on to the first part. Now imagine this. You are entering the room. The panel or the lecturers are looking at you and it's time to speak. Apa yang harus kamu katakan? This slide gives you the useful phrases that you need. In the opening session or introductory sessions, you can start by greeting the audience. You can say good morning or good afternoon, and then introduce your name, and then your department and the title of your thesis. So you can say good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending my thesis defense. My name is Dewi Anggreni and I'm from the Electrical Engineering Department or Telecommunication Engineering Study Program. Today I'm going to present my thesis or my final project entitled blah blah blah. And then don't forget to mention your supervisor's name. It will make your presentation sounds official, and also respectful. So you say, this research was conducted under the supervisions of Mr. or Mrs. blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then, sorry, the next one is the background of the study. In this part, you explain the why behind your research. Mengapa kamu memilih topik ini? Mengapa ini penting untuk misalnya di bidang teknik telekomunikasi? You can start by saying this study, for example, this study was inspired by the increasing demand for high-speed and stable wireless communications in urban areas. This topic is important because signal congestions and inefficient frequency use can seriously affect communications quality. You may add also, Jadi bisa tambahkan previous studies atau penelitian-penelitian sebelumnya yang pernah dilakukan atau yang terkait dengan apa yang kamu kerjakan. So you say previous studies have discussed general spectrum allocation methods, but few have addressed dynamic real-time allocations in dense environments. So make sure the audience understands why this problem matters, especially in the context of smart cities and high density areas. And then you may also add real world analogy supaya topikmu lebih relatable. Okay? Now let's turn to the next slide. So previously we have discussed about the opening part and then background of the study. Now let's turn to the problem statement and also the objectives. This one is your research foundations. Apa masalah yang kamu coba selesaikan dalam misalnya sistem komunikasi. Use clear language. You can say the main problem addressed in the study is the inefficient allocations of frequency channels in 5G small cell networks. And then the next one, you mention the purpose, objectives. Kamu bisa bilang, the objectives of this research are first to, for example, to analyze interference patterns in 5G networks, and then to design blah blah blah, and then to evaluate its performance using simulation tools. Jadi yang harus diingat adalah poin-poinnya itu harus logis dan berkaitan langsung dengan masalah utamanya. Therefore, or thus, the audience will think, oh ya, oke, masuk akal. Tujuannya memang untuk mengatasi masalah itu. And then don't forget to use the verbs like analyze, design, evaluate to show that your research has both theoretical and practical impact. Okay, and then we turn now to the next one, that is methodology. Okay, so now let's talk about how you did your research. Ini adalah bagian di mana kamu harus menjelaskan cara kerja penelitianmu secara singkat tapi jelas. What kind of method did you use? Is it the quantitative, qualitative, or mixed? What tools or software that you use? For example, sensor IoT, Excel, MATLAB, others. Kemudian explain also how you collect the data. So is it through experiment, questionnaire, or simulations or others? Keep it technical but understandable. Coba pakai kalimat kata-kata sequence words, kata-kata untuk mengurutkan langkah-langkah, misalnya first the data was collected, blah blah blah, and then we process the data and so on. Jadi jangan hanya menyebutkan alatnya, tapi juga jelaskan kenapa memilih alat tersebut dan juga langkah-langkahnya. Okay, and then the next one is, what is it? Result and discussions. Di bagian ini, kamu nanti menjelaskan hasil dari penelitianmu dan artinya itu apa. So you show your hard work. Don't just mention the numbers, tell the story behind the data. So you can use phrases like the findings show that blah blah blah. Or based on the data, it can be seen that blah blah blah. Explain one by one of the main findings. Jadi satu persatu temuanmu itu apa, kemudian kaitkan dengan tujuan penelitian. Misalnya kalau kamu menemukan kalau sistemmu itu 20% lebih efisien, then you explain why is it important, how efficient is it, why you think it is efficient. Then you can also refer to theories or previous studies to support your interpretations. Don't be afraid to discuss membicarakan atau membahas hasil yang tidak sesuai harapkan, tidak sesuai dengan harapan. Jadi itu menunjukkan bahwa kamu kritis. And then end this part with the most significant summary of your research. Okay. And next. Okay. The next one is conclusion and suggestions. So this time you wrap things up. Di bagian ini kamu menyampaikan simpulan utama dan juga saran untuk penelitian selanjutnya. You can use phrases like in conclusion, this study shows that blah blah blah, or the main takeaway from this research or this study is blah blah. Jangan hanya mengulang hasil, tapi simpulkan apa makna besarnya, and then give suggestions. Berikan saran, misalnya as a suggestions for the research should, jadi saran untuk penelitian berikutnya apa. Or you can add like, this study is limited to blah blah blah. If your study had limitations, mention them honestly but positively. For example, whilst this study focused only on blah blah blah. Yeah, think of it as kind of your closing argument. Jadi kamu tunjukkan bahwa studimu atau risetmu itu punya nilai tambah dan layak dilanjutkan oleh orang lain atau olehmu sendiri nantinya di penelitian berikutnya. Okay, now let's turn to the next one. It's about useful vocabulary and expressions. You know that vocabulary is power. Kalau kamu punya stok kata-kata akademik, kamu bisa menjelaskan ide dengan lebih meyakinkan. Jadi di slide ini kamu bisa melihat list of words yang sering dipakai dalam thesis presentations. Misalnya analyze, kemudian evaluate, implement, suggest, indicate, dan sebagainya. Coba pakai kata-kata ini dalam kalimat nyata. Contohnya, the system was implemented using blah blah blah, or the data indicates that a significant change blah blah blah. Practice using this in your speaking, not just in writing. Kemudian hafalkan kata-kata yang ada di sini. Bisa juga kamu buat flashcard untuk latihan. That would be much better. Pakai flashcard ya. Next. Oke, yang berikutnya adalah the strategy on explaining visuals. Visual di sini bisa macam-macam ya, gambar, flow chart, and then table, block diagram ya. Many students struggle when they need to describe visuals ya, in English. Padahal ini penting dalam sidang skripsi atau TA. Strateginya itu seperti yang kalian bisa lihat di sini, dibagi menjadi 3, introduce the visual and then guide the audience and explain the function or meaning. Jadi pertama perkenalkan gambarnya atau misalnya tabelnya. Ya. This picture or this diagram or this table shows the process of blah blah blah. And then the second one, tunjukkan alurnya secara logis dari kiri ke kanan atau dari atas ke bawah. Kemudian explain the functions atau arti dari setiap bagian. You can use special expressions such as on the right side, at the center, atau yang lainnya. Hindari hanya membaca isi tabel. Yang perlu dilakukan adalah menjelaskan maknanya. That what makes you sound professional. Okay, and then the next one. Nah, ini adalah salah satu contoh visual yang saya maksud, yaitu flow chart. Ya. Let's go technical. Yeah, here we can see simbol-simbol umum dari flow chart. Mohon maaf ya kalau misalnya tidak sesuai atau ada yang salah, nanti kalian bisa koreksi. So here you can see that there are rectangles for processes, then diamonds for decisions, arrow for flow, and so on. Penting untuk tahu ini karena mungkin kalian akan menggambarkan sistem atau algoritma. Kalau kamu bilang misalnya the process starts here and then moves to the decision part, itu akan lebih bagus daripada cuma bilang this is a box, bla bla bla. Make sure you name each part of this flow chart as you describe it. You can also say this rectangle represents the login process for if the condition is met, it moves blah blah blah. Okay, wait. Ini like sorry. The next one. Okay. Okay, the next one is about key verbs and transition words. To make, kalau dulu mungkin pernah saya ajarkan ya tentang transition words. Ya, jadi ini kurang lebih sama. Ya, to make your explanation smooth, you need the right verbs and connectors. Useful verbs di sini ya, misalnya illustrates, and then shows, moves to, and then starts with. Ya. It will be useful to use when you want to explain the process. Jadi untuk urutan yang ada di bawahnya ya, untuk urutan itu kamu bisa pakai first, next, after that, finally. Contohnya di sini ya. The process starts with the data collections. Next, the data is filtered and analyzed, and so on and so forth. Kalau ada gambar yang bercabang, you can say if yes, the process continues to. If no, blah blah, it returns to blah blah. Jadi pakai if kalau misalnya ada gambar yang bercabang, yang ada kata yes no itu. Nah seperti ini. Ya kita lihat ya, misalnya seperti ini. So here are the sentence structures. Misalnya ya di sini ya, this flow chart illustrate the process of network authentication. So you can also say as shown in the flow chart, the process begins with user input and ends with data storage. Nah, jangan lupa memperkenalkan tujuan dari flowchart-nya. Ya, kemudian bisa menyebutkan juga beberapa langkah atau blok di dalamnya. Misalnya, the diagram outlines 6 major steps involved in the system. Jadi flowchart itu seperti peta perjalanan. Ya, jadi harus jelas ya langkah-langkahnya seperti apa. Ini bagian introduction-nya. Kemudian how to explain the step. Jadi bayangkan kamu sedang menjelaskan alur sistem atau proses kerja satu alat. Jadi kamu mulai dengan the process starts with data collection, where the system gathers input from sensors, for example. Setelah itu dilanjutkan dengan next, the data is filtered to remove noise. Kemudian you can add variations like then and then subsequently atau after that. Kalau ada decision point yang tadi saya bilang bercabang ya, tuh ya. Decision point you can use at this stage. For example, at this stage the system checks if the condition is met. If yes, it moves to blah blah blah. If no, it returns to blah blah. Tambahkan sedikit misalnya penjelasan fungsional. For example, this ensures accuracy before sending the output. Okay. Now, the next one. Sorry. Connecting ideas. Yeah, to make your flow explanation sound even smoother, kamu bisa menyambungkan kalian bisa menyambungkan ide antar langkah dengan kalimat transitional sentences. Once step X is completed, the next phase is step Y. Or depending on the result, the system either option 1 or option 2. Okay. And here is the example of descriptions. So you can start, this is the flow chart about network troubleshooting process. You can start explaining this flowchart by saying this flowchart shows the step for diagnosing a network failure. And then the process begins with identifying the issues. Here is no internet connections. And then next, the system checks whether the router is powered on. If yes, it proceeds to test connections, connection speed. If no, it recommends checking the power supply. After analyzing the speed, if it's below the threshold, the system suggests resetting the router. And finally, if the issue persists, the flowchart concludes with contacting technical support. Okay, now let's jump to describing tables. So we will switch to tables. Previously in last semester, I asked some of my students, some of my classes also to have a presentations on business events. When they talk about table, yeah, they only focus on numbers, yeah, in the table, but they didn't explain the meaning of the table. Jadi yang penting adalah lebih penting itu bukan menjelaskan apa namanya tulisan yang ada dalam table, tapi harus bisa menjelaskan makna. So you need to explain apa arti angkanya dan kenapa itu penting. sorry. So, apa tadi? Jadi kamu harus menjelaskan ya angkanya artinya apa dan why is it important. And then you can use starters, for example. This table compares, or we can see from the data that blah blah blah. Ya, kemudian jangan lupa menyebutkan satu atau dua insight utama dari tabel tersebut. Misalnya, according to the table, efficiency increases as the input voltage rises. Give the audience interpretations, not just the observations. Because you are a researcher, jadi kamu harus bisa menjelaskan ya, maknanya, makna data ini ya, yang kalau dikaitkan dengan tujuan dari penelitian. Itu adalah kind of answer examiners looking for. Jadi tabel itu bukan dekorasi ya, tapi bagian dari argumen ilmiah kamu. Now, do we have example here? Okay, this is the example. It's about voltage output under different loads. We can start by this table presents the voltage output measured at different load resistances. And then you can continue as shown as the load increases, both voltage and current decrease slightly. And then you can also conclude this pattern indicates good system stability. So don't just say that this is 5, false. Say, why is it matters? Jadi angka yang ada di situ tuh harus dijelaskan. What trend does the table show? How does it support your hypothesis? Jadi latihan menjelaskan tabel itu penting ya. And then next one. This is the last part, I guess. So this is about tips for delivery. So we will end with the most important part, delivery ya. Percuma ya kalau materinya bagus tapi penyampaiannya itu tidak jelas. So here are some simple but powerful tips. The first one, practice aloud several times, not just in your head. And then you can use cue cards with keywords, but no full script. Just write down the keywords and then speak clearly and pause every key after key points. Pause after key points. And then make eye contact. Jadi senervous apapun harus berusaha untuk melihat the audience. Be ready to clarify if the panel asks questions, and then stay calm and confident. Okay, so that's it. That brings us to the end of our sessions this time about English thesis defense. Congratulations. You've just, taken a big step forward, presenting your research with clarity and confidence, hopefully. But you need to remember, sidang skripsi atau thesis defense itu bukan ujian menghafal, tapi ujian pemahaman dan komunikasi. And you don't need to sound like native speaker. You just need to be clear, structured, and confident. Everything we've covered today, the structure, vocabulary, and then visual explanations and delivery adalah toolkit kamu semuanya untuk bisa sukses nantinya di sidang tesis atau final project kalian nanti. And then thank you for your attention and your commitment to learning. Good luck with your practice on thesis defense in the next meeting. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.